Rolling on up on another episode of BallinVA. Welcome to episode 4. We're excited to be here on this Juneteenth today. We're excited to celebrate that today. Happy Juneteenth to those who are out there. But before we talk about these special guests that we have in studio here today, we got to pay homage to what's going on. We have a new site up on Patreon. Many tiers available for you. You have different benefits. We'll have merchandise dropping very soon. You can also subscribe and like the video for free right here on YouTube. And please continue to follow us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Please do. We need the support.
Now let's talk about these gentlemen in studio.
Yes,
We're so excited to have these folks here today.
Thank you.
We've got the state champions, Varina football Blue Devils, in the house. Okay. Super excited. We had their counterpart here on a few weeks ago, but we're excited to talk about these folks here. I've got the host here, Larry, the encyclopedia himself. I've got myself here back in studio.
About time.
About time. Tiffany, the former chief here in 804. But I want to introduce these gentlemen. We've got the head coach here, Mr. Marcus Lewis.
Yes,
he is in town. He has brought his staff, sitting right beside him, Coach Lewis. And on the other side over here, we've got Coach Q.
Thanks, Coach Q.
Coach Q is in the house. We want to thank you for being here on this exciting day.
Man, show them championship rings, man. Y'all got them rings in here blinking, man. Show them rings, man. I'm over here. They're blinding me over here one eye. Yeah, man. Y'all be a little modest. Show them rings, man.
I mean, they are beautiful. I saw it when I first walked in here. That thing is bad.
Thank you.
That thing is bad. But yes, go ahead, Larry. Go ahead and start us out. I just wanted to give you a proper introduction and be excited to be back in the house here. It's been a while.
Time.
Hey, I missed y'all.
Yeah,
it's
been a while. We missed you too. It's a void here.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be back.
Look. You was down and out, but we had to hold it down while you was gone. So we glad you.
Oh, you know you did.
Yeah. Well, I to do that. But fellas, man, thank y'all for coming, man. We just blessed to have y'all here. Boom, them was here not too long ago, man, and that culture y'all been building over there, Varina. Champion, y'all champions, man. And we just appreciate y'all coming on, taking no time out y'all schedule, man. This is a beautiful thing, man. Thank y'all for supporting us. But Coach Lewis, what's happening, man?
Not much. Thanks for having us.
No, man. No, it's an honor, man. So where did it start for you guys, man? I mean, this was how can I say it? Y'all kind of started off kind of a little shaky a little bit, I guess. But y'all ran the table, man, and when it counted, y'all did what y'all think. So tell us about the season as a whole.
Oh, man. I guess going into the season was a little different for us.
Okay.
When I first got the job, we was doing COVID. So we really couldn't do anything.
All right.
Practice, couldn't do anything. We on Zoom calls, meeting with the players, meeting with the parents, encouraging them to work out. Mm-hmm. I might put a video of me working out. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of crazy. So going into this season, stuff started to open up. We was able to hit the weight room. We're big on the weight room. Mm-hmm. We just being around the kids, building that relationship, building that chemistry, building that bond amongst coaches as well. So it was just a blessing, honestly.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. For you, how does it feel that you get to coach at your alma mater, man? I mean, both of you guys here. I mean, like I said, Coach Q, Capital District. So we're gonna go ahead and just call it like it is. Shout out to the Capital District. I guess I don't know what they call it now, but how does it feel, man, to be the head man at your alma mater, man? Did you foresee this coming at all?
I really didn't. When I started coaching in 2008, Stu Brown, which was my coach, he gave me a job. I started coaching the linebackers. From there, I think in 2014, I was about to step back. Honestly, the D coordinator ended up leaving, so I was next up.
Okay.
D coordinator job, and then I didn't know Coach Brown was leaving. So we was at a meeting. I'm thinking we gonna go over this, get ready for the season. I was about to take a step back.
Okay.
Entrepreneur. I had started another business out of town, so I wanted to put some time into that. So when he stepped back, everybody looked at me in the room. I was just like, wait. I gotta go home, talk to my wife, talk to my kids. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how it went. Went home. She gave me her blessings. My girls love football. They love sports.
All right now.
I mean, I'm a girl dad, so but they into it. They've been around it since they was babies. From me coaching rec football, coaching AAU basketball with my brother, so they just been around it. And from there, it just kind of took off. The crazy part about this, both of them applied
Really?
for the job. And when I called Jay Lou, I said, look, Jay, if you get it, I said, if I get it, this is what I want you to do. I want to step back. I want you to be the D coordinator. I just want to kind of help from, I don't want to call them no more. Coach Q, I've been trying to get him up and around anyway.
Okay.
Just seeing what he did, and I let him speak about it, what he did at the rec level, the discipline I seen when I, come to his games. And I didn't even know him.
Really?
Just what I saw, I was just like, man, this is crazy. It's amazing what he do. And I started off every round of rec, so I had a love for that, just knowing that. And we talked about if he got the job. So I eventually got the job. I kind of knew that day, honestly. And I called him. I said, look, you could be the D coordinator. Ended up calling Coach Q. He like, look, if you get it, I'm going to be a part of this. And it just came together. Yeah. It was just beautiful.
And truth be told, I was the least qualified guy. I was going to give him my best shot.
On paper, he was the least qualified, but he wanted the least qualified.
No, we was talking to him earlier, Tiffany. Wow. He blew us away, didn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here hoping the mic was on then.
Yeah, exactly.
The knowledge that this man was spitting.
Oh, yeah. And he getting into the kids.
It's so pure.
Oh, man.
And it comes from such a pure spot.
Yes.
The biggest thing about football is building a culture.
Yes, sir.
And his background through the military and helping kids. I mean, we got a culture that's unlike anything I've seen. The buy-in from the kids, just the little things he says, the wisdom that he imparts in the kids every day. I mean, he is the captain of our culture.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see that.
I appreciate that because I mean a lot coming from, as much as I respect J. Lou and Marcus. I mean, this guy playing at every level and seeing it at every level. For him to even, think enough for me to say that just makes my heart feel good, honestly. And so I try my best to play my role to the best of my ability.
We had the guys on a couple weeks ago from the basketball team, and we asked them the same question about culture, because that is so important. When things go bad, you only go back to your character. Sure. And that character is built through culture and discipline and foundation. And for you all to talk about that so quickly on in this, it's super important. Right. And we're talking about that over on Route 5, and it sounds like it's coming from not just one, it's coming from the whole school, and not only the school, but the community. So talk a little bit about that. Like, you talked about that culture. You talked about, that's important for you all over there. Sure. I asked that question to AT, and AT said, we just meet them from where they're at. That was his answer. What coming from the football side, talking about that culture, how did you find yourselves being able to do that over there?
I guess I'll take that one. So honestly, first of all, we got to establish the standard as coaches. So I'm big about, if you're not rowing the boat, you got to get out the boat. The only time we're going to need you is when we need you the most. Like a lot of these games are going to take care of themselves, right? Because we're pretty talented. So if we're winning by 40 points, it doesn't matter what we do as a staff or you do as a player, it's good. What we need is when we're down by 7, true test of man is how he handles adversity. So we're going to put you in adverse situations to be able to handle that early. And or so we just can identify whether or not you can handle it.
Amen.
So the only time we need you is when we need you.
Ooh.
So if you're not willing to do that, and where times aren't even hot, I know I can't trust you later. And that person's going to let you down anyway, no matter how talented he is.
That's right.
He's super talented, but if he's going to fall apart in a little bit of adverse situation, he can't help you down the stretch. So I'd rather take somebody who really wants to be on the boat
That's right.
than someone who's just along for the ride because God gave him some gifts for free.
Yeah.
It's like, a pretty person with hazel eyes. They didn't do nothing for that. What type of character do you have behind those eyes?
Exactly.
So you may be cute to look at, and you may look good in the combine, and that's great, but that's not going to help us get our goals as a family what we're trying to create at Varina.
And I think the toughness he built, just from the mental aspect, allowed us to get in a lot of situations where we didn't get caught up in the highs and lows of the game. How many games did we win by 1 point in a row?
Yeah,
Thanks.
6 games in a row by 1 point. I mean, this wasn't just the best talented, the best teams around it ever had, this and that nature.
Right.
We had a lot of tough games. We had a lot of things we needed to work through, and those kids worked through, partly because of culture. We put them in situations in practice. We put them in situations during conditioning. to where they couldn't get caught up in the highs and lows. They had to keep the course. So that showed itself in the playoffs, definitely.
It did.
Can I add something to that? And also down the stretch, we don't want to take off the table. Yes, we need Cassius willing to hold the gate when the Wolves are coming. But what I have been learning so much from these guys being X's and O's dudes, I mean, the adjustments that were made throughout the season were high level. We never not had the answer, even if we needed to put more time into getting the preferred outcome. It's like they recognized it. Mm-hmm. Specifically, Jalen, where he broke down the game film and stuff that I learned. And I'm on the offensive side of the ball, but I just like to pick up game wherever I can. I mean, it was just amazing to be able to watch that we always had an answer. So when you're in a tough situation, sometimes coaches and kids are deers in the headlights, you know. And I never felt that from our staff. We never panicked on the sideline. We were being what we wanted the kids to represent. You know, no one was falling to pieces. Right. You'd be surprised how many grown men fall to pieces on the sideline.
Yeah, you see.
I mean, and you know, the coaches, the kids are a reflection. The team is a reflection of the coach.
Sure.
And so the coaches, you're talking about putting people in adverse situations. Yeah. And as a former coach myself, I feel the same way. Whatever you want to be good at, you got to practice it all the time. And so if you guys had 6 games where you're winning by 1, you're putting your team in that situation almost on a daily basis of this is what it feels like. This is game time situation. Sure. You're feeling being down. You're in the 2-minute drill. You're in this. How are you going to respond? Yeah. So you all put those guys in those situations over and over and over again. So you'll see what you do in practice, you're going to do in the game. So you all will be able to recognize that in practice so that you know who you want on the field in those time score situations.
No, 100%.
And I would like to give this man props for putting together the staff.
That's what I was going to say. Yes,
I would like to give this man the guy the props for putting together the staff, because he talked about in situations when he coached at Varina, it was 3 guys making all the decisions.
Damn.
And,
are you serious?
It was 3 guys making all the decisions, and that's nearly not enough. Right. I mean, you got offense, special teams, you got defensive backs, linebackers, defensive line, offensive line, tight ends, quarterbacks, running backs. I mean, you need coaches. Yeah. And he put together a staff. I mean, we're a group of guys who got a lot of experience playing, a lot of experience coaching, and he let us do our thing, you know. So that was a special thing to have.
Yeah. He's 100% right. I mean, first of all, I consider myself to be, you know, an alpha. And so you can't just defer to anybody, right?
Right.
That's right.
But also his confidence in not having an ego when you have a J-Lou who has things he can bring to the table. That's or even like allowing me to take the team and give them, if it's not going right, you know, I expect to stop practice, put them on the white line. We crabbing now. Yeah. But how many men ego would be in the way of, because I don't have an ego when it comes to that. I'm for the greater good. That's right. But if they feel like someone's getting a little bit more shine, it just tears it apart. So I always joke with the coaches. I'd be like, listen, man, as long as nobody goes Eddie Kane Jr., we gonna be all right.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't need no David Ruffins.
Oh, Lord. No, we don't leave that. Oh, my God. That's
shout out to David Ruffins.
Yeah, shout out to David. Oh, that's my favorite movie.
He wanted a team player, though.
Yeah, but he was a bad boy. Yeah. He was a bad boy, but God, he just messed it up. He messed it up.
Man, let's be Otis.
Somebody got to be Otis. Who? That would be you?
No, honestly, that's got to be J. Lou, man. I mean, Marcus Lewis. He putting all of us together, man. I mean, he deserves to stand out front and shine, because without him putting this group of guys together, it just doesn't work. And we needed everybody down the stretch. I mean, in my estimation, we needed everybody.
Oh, yeah. You want me to do a roll call to all the guys?
Yeah, man. Shout them out, man. Shout out the guys that couldn't be here today, man.
Huh? You know everybody?
Well, that's a lot of guys, man.
Well, I'm going to try to go on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Kick that.
You know, I'm the defensive coordinator, the defensive line coach. Okay. Coach Burnett was our linebackers coach, played at the University of Richmond.
I think I remember him.
Elsie Bird.
Solid player too.
We got another homegrown guy. We got Deontay Gale, played his ball at Virginia State, our defensive backs coach, who's preferably coached the corners. And we had Coach Justin Fitzgerald, was our safeties coach and our special teams coordinator. Yep. Played his ball at the University of Ohio.
Okay.
We had Willie Mosley, outside linebackers coach. Played his ball at the homegrown Varina guy, played his ball at the University of Buffalo. Okay. Played in the NFL, a little bit in the CFL. And so We also had Coach Q.
Coach Q.
Coach
I'm
Q.
a Marine. I don't have all the accolades behind my situation.
Culture guy.
Hoorah.
A hard guy. Hoorah.
You gonna hear, you come to our practice, you're gonna hear his voice the most.
All right.
Wow.
You know, and that's pretty much what we know. We had an excellent JV staff. We had Coach Adonis Robinson, the head JV coach.
Okay.
Jarrell Harrison, our offensive coordinator, played his ball at the University of Delaware.
Okay.
Jonathan Gosney, the O-line architect. That's my brother on the O-line side.
He's also the guy behind our page.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
All of that.
Okay.
T-Pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All that T-Pain you see every weekend and week out. That's Coach
Okay. All right. Now we
Played
got
his
the
ball at
Wow. UVA Wild.
UVA Wild.
Yeah, he's a homegrown guy, Varina guys.
Varina guy.
Yeah.
And most of these guys we mentioned are Varina guys.
Okay.
Coming back.
Leonard Mitchell,
That's
offensive
us.
coordinator.
Okay.
He actually played with my brother.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And see, that's what I'm saying, man. You got, I was telling you earlier, 703, 757. Those guys, those schools allow them to go back and coach. You know they won't doing that up here, man. That was like, why you don't get some of the guys who played, bring them back to the alma mater and coach?
Yeah.
You know, but for the longest time, they won't do it.
Yeah. I don't know what made him change because honestly, I was like, man, I'm hoping I'm gonna get the job.
Right,
I
right.
don't really know. But I think I really don't know, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think nobody can answer that question, man. I mean, you got so much talent up here in the 804 that came through here and this is why we had to make this possible because people, all you hear about 757 running the state, 703. Like I said, y'all look, North Virginia is this, that, and the third. No, we have some bad boys around here too.
You know the funny thing, I went to Virginia Tech, and
I
of course
know
I heard,
7-5.
no question, as far as that. But when you really look at it, I was able to play Virginia Tech, able to go to the NFL, able to go on the other side of California, play for the Raiders.
Nice.
And for real, when you look at it, you look at 804, 757, 703. To somebody from Oakland, California, that's all the same area.
It's the same, right.
Very true.
When they put their finger on Virginia, it's the same.
It's the
place.
same thing, right.
So I know it's fun when we go and play those other teams because I want to win worse than anybody, and I want to talk my junk. And matter of fact, my father-in-law is from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay.
My wife's whole family's from the 7
And I know they be talking trash.
Oh yeah. So we have our friendly, our joking banter back and forth as son-in-law, father-in-law. But at the end of the day, man, we all Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how I see it.
To somebody from LA, they put their finger on Virginia. They putting their finger on all three places.
Right.
Yeah. So we got, we gonna battle it out here. When we go outside, we go.
It's us against everybody, And that's why we call it BallinVA. It's like, I'm like, look, man, we represent 804. 804 gonna get it first. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all love, but this is what we gonna do first. But we represent the whole state. I mean, if y'all, if y'all want to play that separation thing, we can play that thing too. But we rather not. But I can't have a show without me not throwing some shade at 7-5.
It's fun.
But it's fun. But they always been like that stepping stone. They were the ones that was always winning. They had the best players. The best talent. He's like, all right, y'all got that. We gonna come with our guys too, and they be like, but it's always one on the sideline.
And the fun thing was, man, coming together. When we came in as freshmen, it was even in the All-Star game. It was the 804 guys over here. We ate lunch together. 757 guys over there ate lunch together. It was kind of segregated.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was. Them were my boys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To this day now, we close. We tight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Love.
But when it started off, it was like that. But when you go in the heat of battle with somebody playing, we represent Virginia, we represent Virginia Tech, and we got to play them boys down there. We got to go to Miami.
Right. It's us against them.
Yeah, it's us against them.
Right.
So I got a different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no question, when I put on this coaching hat for Varina, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna tear y'all up. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And we're gonna piggyback on that real quick. Y'all played. All three of y'all played.
Yeah.
How many times y'all lost to 7-5?
I never lost to them.
No, never.
I went to Armstrong, so we lost to everybody. But a lot of life lessons along
Not
the
in
way.
basketball.
Yeah, no, I didn't play basketball. This body didn't work for that.
Yeah.
Remember we played Tallwood in '98?
Oh yeah.
We went down there. I mean, they were huge.
I ain't gonna lie. NCO, it was my sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore. It was my freshman year.
Wow.
I'm playing middle linebacker. I graduated at 175.
Are you serious?
Graduated 175. People, they'll see me out the game like, you that same guy? I'm like, yeah. Got off the bus. No lie, I walk in. I'm looking at them. I said, damn, they big as hell.
Yeah.
So the first play of the game, I remember it's like it was yesterday. Called the blitz. I blitz. Hit the guy in the backfield. Bounced off. So I said, hey, fellas, it's going to be a long day if we don't wrap up. Next thing I know, we just started beating the mess out of them.
But they came off the bus, and we stretching in our lines. Average, we were Varina. We weren't small, but they was actually bigger than Varina, if you could think of Varina team. And they came out warm up laughing at us, man. Laughing at us like, man, they small. Look how small they are.
Okay.
Like, all right. And then I knew one play. I knew my brother was playing middle linebacker.
Yeah. He was hitting me.
He hit.
Hey, moving you off the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
your
hit
brother
the boy
was a
so
bad
hard.
boy, man.
He hit the boy so hard, man. The ball squirted. I mean, the ball ain't just. He ain't just dropped the ball. The ball squirted back about 10 yards. I mean, he set the tone. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all, shout out to your brother Kevin Lewis, man. Y'all was some bad boys over there, man. Y'all, you doing y'all thing. Let me ask y'all a question unless you got something.
No, go ahead.
Who was the best player? I mean, who was some top good players that y'all played against? It don't have to be 7-5. It could just be throughout the state.
I played against D-Boy at Holland Springs, and then I played against these guys, man. Mike Robinson. I played linebacker. They were running the pitch. When I would hit him, he would pitch it. When I would take the bait, he'd keep it. It was terrible. His brother was an animal. And I played guard and linebacker, and I played the whole game. So I got to see both sides of the ball because Armstrong didn't have a whole lot. So I never forget that. My senior year, I wanted to beat Varina so bad. And I was trying to get my guys to rally because that's the only thing that would have mattered my senior year. And I had never been in a place where I had went so hard. I cried the whole way home. My body was exhausted. Had whole body cramps. So I wanted to prove something. Y'all guys made us homecoming. I felt so disrespected. And so the whole team was good, man. I mean, they were solid across the board. And a lot of those guys went on to play in the league.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Rob.
For me, it'd probably be definitely Amari Brooks. I mean, he the first name that come to my mind. But
Shout out to Mar Brooks.
Yeah, he was some talent back then. Though.
C.D. Hilton.
Whole area though, like Guy Harris, the running back, Lee Davis at
Lee
the
Davis,
time.
yep.
I mean, that's when Lee Davis, the athletes, they was tough.
Yeah, they was putting out running backs like left and right.
Yeah.
Skill positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They was putting out. What about you, J. Lou?
I probably say from the line perspective, I got the chance to play against Big John Dunn. I played with him in college.
Okay.
Played with the Lions for a little bit.
Okay.
Centerville, we played against Will Montgomery.
I remember him.
Played for the Redskins.
yeah.
Played for the Carolina Panthers. I played college ball with him as well. We call him Pliers because once he get his hands on,
It's a wrap.
yeah. He not trying to let go.
Pulaski had that tight end too.
Oh yeah, Jeff King.
Yeah.
Played against Jeff King in the
He was a
scrimmage game.
Really?
So
He was a beast.
yeah, he was tough.
Shout out to those guys, man.
Who did he play? Played a long time for Carolina. He played with me at Tech as well.
Okay.
Like you said, we played against Big Keen in the scrimmage, your cousin.
Man, shout out to Keening.
Yeah.
Waiting on you, boy.
And it was a lot of guys. I probably say, one of the toughest running backs, probably like you say, got to be Guy Harris.
Yeah, he was tough.
Anthony Martinez for Patrick Henry. He was.
Oh yeah, they
was
was out there. Yeah, playing them at the
he was spinning the ball.
Yeah, he was nice.
Don't forget them Henrico teams. I know that game
Aaron
amped
Alexander.
up. Yeah, Aaron Alexander, Mike Shug, and
Man.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Y'all played them in the regionals, right?
No, we played them in regular season.
Regular
We
season.
was undefeated.
Yep, a 99.
99, right? Because he went to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yep.
We beat the
Y'all beat them.
death out of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We didn't even throw the football. People didn't know Mike Robb was hurt. We handed the ball off the whole game.
No, I didn't know that.
It was 49-21. They scored twice on what we call that defense, Woody Raiders.
Yeah, the Woody Raiders.
So we go over there on the sideline with our stuff off because Coach Carter said we was done. They scored that third touchdown. We got to put our stuff back up. But Lamar Abrams had a field day on them.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
I mean, and just speaking of our team, it was a family. I think that was the difference of us. We was a family. Summertime we all together. We in the pool. We did a lot together. To where I think that gave us that bond. That bond that we could trust each other on the football field.
Well, Varina had that tradition, so that's just where it was.
Y'all have something. Like, you got something over there on Route 5 because, I mean, you got everybody coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You got everybody that wants to come back and actually not just play there, but coach there. I mean, people are wanting to come back and coach at their alma mater, and it's actually happening there over and over. Route 5.
I'm on the phone though.
So-
I ain't gonna lie. I'm calling
Okay.
everybody.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. Now so that's the secret sauce.
Okay, there's a little sauce in that. Okay, but they're coming.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there's plenty of people that ask, but that don't mean they're coming.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you're out there cooking something over there where people want to be a part of it. But I want to ask you this too. You were talking about some of the best players that you played against and that kind of thing in the 90s and the late 90s, that kind of thing. How do you see the game has changed?
Good question.
How has the game changed? Not only how has it changed for the better, because we've seen a lot of, West Coast offensives, things like that have come out. But what maybe not changed for the best? What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I got some real clear thoughts. So I do think a lot of things change for the better. These kids are getting access to information way earlier, how they work out, how they move, how they prepare for 40 times. But what that also does, it puts you into a very individualistic type of setting, right? And so football is a we, is not a me. So yes, we want you to get recruited. However, for the team, the best teams are going to do well together if we're together. And so sometimes you have a rub between what's best for me and what's best for the team, or even just perception. It may be best for both of us for you to be a part of the team, but you're so caught up in your individual accolades that you miss out on really what the magic is, which is the brotherhood.
That's right.
And so that's, I think, the biggest things that kids are really, even really good kids are worrying about, whether it got a scholarship based on what this kid got, because he got offered in the 10th grade. That's some new school stuff, man.
Right. Yeah.
Speak about the parents.
Ooh.
So
Topic.
Well, truth be told, in my experience, you have to understand where they're coming from. You are there for 30 or 50 or 100, and they are there for one.
Right.
And how that plays out, even if it's for the positive, it's a conflict of interest.
It is.
And so you almost have to have a certain amount of a buffer. As much as we do love the parents, I'll sit my grandma if it's not the right thing, if it's the right thing to do. I mean, my son was not a starter on teams that I coached, and I probably could have played daddy ball to get him there. But how's it going to help him earn things in life, right? So we got certain principles. So a parent some of the most well-meaning parents will be too in love. And when they're too in love, everybody is a villain against their baby. And so now helicopter parents have definitely gone up from, I think, back in the day. 'Cause my mom, she's like, hey, be at home for the street lights, come on.
Right.
She wasn't in our business like that,
Want to know practice?
Yeah, we had none of that stuff.
Coach. None
Parents
of
coming to
that.
practice, what?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest difference is the parents, I think they're getting a lot more validation from their kids, because now you can see it on YouTube and Facebook, and you look at my baby. And
Right. Yeah, they can go to work.
it's currency.
But you all are doing something to where you're able to handle that, okay? Because basically you've got the success behind it. So how are y'all dealing with that that helicopter parent and that, he's talking about the sauce of getting people out here, but you got a recipe of how you're dealing with these other things that you can't control. And because those are the things that are not controllable. They always talk about control the controllables, but those are things that, it's kind of outside.
This is my take on it. I know this gets kind of more of a Coach Marcus conversation, but for me specifically, there's no leverage there. I mean, at the end of the day, are you our type of guy or not? And if not, we wish you well.
Gotcha.
And so once you start to give into them having a position of, well, I'll take my kids somewhere else or whatever, and you start playing that, trying to just keep kids around, I personally think that's a recipe for disaster, because now, the dynamics are off on the team and it's not a pure thing. Now I'm trying to placate to you because I think your kid is a 4-star. Well, the 4 stars don't equate to championships.
Right.
So that's my take on that.
Thank you.
For me, I'm just direct.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know, what the coach is saying, college coach is saying about your kid. I'm gonna let you know what we saying and what they need to work on. Okay. If you can't handle that, then I don't really know what else to say to you. More importantly, if he ain't a good person, it ain't gonna work no way.
Right.
That's true.
We not dealing with none of that behavior stuff. We working on the contract now. 3 strikes and you done.
Okay. Just simple.
I also think it's important to be confident in what you do in your regular life. Like, my wife loves me when I come home regardless. My kids look up to me regardless. So I don't need this football to make me validate who I am as a person.
Exactly.
And I feel like everybody up here is strong enough to stand in their own 2 shoes, whether they coach or not. They're gonna be solid guys. So it's not like I need the accolades from people to clap for me who don't know me anyway. What matters to me is this right here. When me and Coach Lou, we get together, is it a That's the only thing that matters. Honestly, everybody who's watching this, I don't know you probably. And if you do, it's at a very long handle spoon basis. I keep my circle so small as a dot. So it's kind of like one of those situations where if you're not seeking that can put your moral compass in the right place. Like for me, I know very clear it's two things. We have goals and we have purpose. So the purpose trumps the goal. The goal is to win everything we ever do. We want to be the best. But our purpose is to help them with their man walk.
Yep.
That's it.
And so once you get in conflict with the purpose of goal, you defer to the purpose.
Yep.
And so when you do that, it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
I like that.
how other people feel.
So
Well, talk about and see with all that saying so y'all got a lot of players over there. Let's call it, y'all got a lot of ballers over there.
Facts.
Especially, offense, defense, man. I mean, I can talk about Kavion Keys. You got Ant Fisher, Derek Cott. I mean, what's the other kid? Carlos Thompson.
Wells.
Yeah, man. Talk about some of these kids, man. I mean, y'all got some dogs, man. I mean, I know I'm leaving some guys out. Don't feel bad for Varina Nation. I'm not trying to leave nobody out, but
So what we can do, make sure we don't leave. I'll let you talk about. Well, definitely talk about Ant. You talk about a lot of them because you coached them, but make sure you talk about the O line, the D line.
Yeah.
But like you said, definitely some talented kids. I'm gonna just say my piece on Anthony. I never seen a kid like that.
he's a dog.
That he lived for the moments.
Yes,
He want the ball. He want to make a play. And when people go to him, I'm like, they crazy. Like, you better go somewhere else. But, I mean, then you got Kenny Faze on the other end, far as corner, that led the conference with interceptions. So our secondary was very
Yes,
good.
y'all secondary was really
They all, Kenny back. He's a rising senior. The other three all went Division I. So you really couldn't pick on too many people, honestly. But with him, it's just something crazy. I mean, like, state championship game when I feel like we had a couple of bad calls with passing the front. We got the ball back or fumble. But it came down that stretch. I looked at the offensive coordinator. I said, Lynn, I don't care what you call, but he better keep that ball in his hand. I don't care what you call, but Carlo, we got him back the state championship game, number one. He was our safety, played the best game ever. He got hurt against Holland Springs, took a bad hit. But getting him back in that secondary, oh, man, it was amazing. I mean, that was probably the best game our defense had played.
With this championship game?
And the practice that week was awful.
Okay, really?
Awful. Hey, listen, I think I was going home just telling my wife, I don't know what we gonna look like.
Yeah, I remember telling them, because I had a little previous experience. I was coaching at Hopewell where we, had some success, state championships and things of that nature. And Marcus kind of looked at me and said, man, what was y'all practice like day for a state championship game? And I looked at them, I said, it was awful too.
Really?
Don't put no stock into that. You know what I'm saying? Just have faith in what we prepared to do. Yeah. And when it come on, it'll come on. The lights will come on. So, I mean, I don't want to go too many. We almost had a team fight.
No, we can talk about that.
Yeah, we had a team fight. We almost had a team fight the day before that state championship game. So when we was going through, I was like, man, this is mild, man. We good, man. So, I mean, it was a lot of kids messing up miscues and stuff like that, man. But like you said, man, when the lights come on, them kids perform, man.
Yeah.
And that's deep, man, because let me ask y'all a question. You know I'm about to go back there. Did y'all have a moment of the C.D. Hilton? Did you think about that? Okay, I hope not a damn thing.
I think somebody else mentioned
Come on, y'all.
I think somebody mentioned it beside me. I'm in tune, but I was like, I'd be damned if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching the game, on the Lola Network. I said, man, if they do another CD Hilton again, they are never gonna be able to come back to Richmond. Never.
Yeah. Nah. Honestly, I felt like we was in control of that game, the whole game.
Yeah.
Even with the three bad calls where we made the kid fumble on the goal line. They said him on no fumble. We stopped him. 2 pass interference where I think we probably caught interceptions on both.
Yeah,
we did.
We gave up a 3rd and 30 face mask. We stop them. I'm like, yo. So I felt like we was in control of the game the whole time.
Y'all were.
I was really comfortable on what was going on, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we came out, we played a really good third quarter.
Yes, we did.
That first series, did we get the ball?
Yeah, we did. We
did.
scored.
We got the ball. We scored. I was like, okay.
I told him at halftime, I said,
totally
hey,
different.
fellas, we got to score. Kingsport game, at halftime, we came out there, snuck it up. And I was like, hey, this third quarter, we get the ball. We need to score. We threw a bomb to Kavion, and that kind of changed it.
It did.
Yeah. And then once you get down on us or a team like us, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too, I think that what other people didn't know from Western Side. First of all, we had been in 4 or 5 of those games already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it was way closer down the stretch, so it wasn't like we were falling to pieces. And luckily for me, I didn't have the trauma of the C.D. Hilton situation, so that never even entered my mind. I'm like, we're
that's
getting this
trauma
money.
for me, so I know it's trauma for these guys. So they were playing.
Nah.
I still talk about that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Varina.
Like I said, down the stretch, like I said, we were getting that money, period. And so it was one of those situations where I told the kids before the game, a couple of them that I had from they were 5, and I'm going to say how I said it to them. I was like, how the fuck can they when we've been together since we was 5? Ain't
Right.
no way. No way we going home without this money.
That's
I
right.
don't care how cool it looks in between. Maybe it was a little bit of drama for the cameras or whatever, let them seem like they got back in the game. We were going home with that money.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, because y'all been in some dog fights, and excuse my words that I used earlier was kind of shaky, but y'all was just in some fights, man. I kind of expected with the talent y'all had to kind of, I guess I'm gonna say blow them away, but I felt like that y'all were better than the team that y'all played. But I guess that's just the whole nuance of just the season. Y'all just trying to figure it out as y'all go along. Would that be the safe thing to say?
I would definitely say that. And I think we got better each week, too.
Right.
And the teams we had dog fights, they was good.
Right,
Patrick Henry, up there, their kids go to that same school. They play together since day one. It ain't like that no more in Varina.
No.
You got Varina, Rec, you got Easton, you got Hollis Springs, you got Glenlee, you got Sanson, you got Henrico. So with these kids all over. So with me, I grew up playing for one rec team.
Right.
Yeah.
So we built something special because we played together from day one. It's not like that. And then we had a couple of people that came in from Kamara. He was at Henrico. Keys was at Henrico. Marquise and Anthony was at Benedict. So just trying to build that chemistry. And they all came from a different system too, to where, they had to learn our system. Miles Derrick, we got him right before the season. He didn't do 7-on-7s. He didn't do none of that.
Yeah.
Didn't play quarterback. So with Miles, it was more so when I got that call from him, I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know none of these kids except Anthony and Marquise. But when I got the call saying he was coming over, I was like, all right, what position you play? He said, I play wide receiver and quarterback. I said, all right, well, hey, we got another junior that's playing quarterback. Come and fight for this position. He came in and really losing the love for the game. Like he was like, Coach, over there, I just lost the love. I think with us opening our arms up and just treating him like day one, it's like he just got better and better. And I was just like, man, this kid can play.
And that's sometimes all it takes.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference with us.
Yeah.
We really love our kids.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah, we love our kids. And he gave me a call yesterday or today, and I was telling him how my day was on Father's Day, but I'm making sure one of our kids could talk to a vet of ours, talk to Mike Robinson. Like, man, you doing that on Father's Day? I'm like, hey, man, got to do it.
But see, that's how it is. But go ahead, Tiff. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just piggybacking off exactly what you're thinking. I know you was about to say the same thing I'm saying. We're on the same. It's just that is what's shining through. I mean, that's why when you get in those tough situations, y'all are able to overcome that adversity because there's a true love there. There is a love not just for the game, but for these boys to become men.
Yes.
And every time they get across one of those humps, they're getting closer to becoming a man.
Sure.
And that's why we're coaching this game. Any game that we coach, we're coaching life. And so every time you see them overcome those hurdles, you're like, they getting it. They getting it. And it's like almost like father seeing their son come up to him and go, I got it. And you're like, yes. And they feel that you feel it back. And so they want to perform for you all because they know you love them whether they winning or whether they not. As long as there was a lesson learned in it, then they see that from you all.
Definitely.
And that just makes them push. But I was going to also talk about the fact that you guys have players that are playing on both the football and the basketball team. And both of these teams and these programs are successful. Not only did they win, but the first time. Do you find that that's helping? Like, when you've got people that love both sports like that, it's almost like, how are y'all dealing with folks that not only loving both, but are very successful on both sides?
I think you got to applaud that, right? I mean, I think we talked about it before, Titletown. Like as you win, we win. Rising tide raises all boats, right? So again, I grew up with Kennard too, and I actually coached.
Shout out to Kennard.
Hey, Kennard,
a regular on this show,
brother White.
We see it a bit.
So it's just like it wasn't like it was a division to me because so many of those kids. play football for us. Even some of the ones, Fats, was going to VCU, Alfonso Billups. He played on our football team.
Wow, I wouldn't know that either.
I didn't know
At
that.
the rec club. He was a ball player.
And the other big boy.
Who was that?
Goodness.
I think
On the basketball team?
Yeah.
That's I already said the kid that played. He played on the basketball team. What's his name?
I had KJ for a year.
Keep going.
No, what's his name? Was it
That's
not?
Lil
Yeah, look it up.
What's his name?
6'5", tall
You
kid.
talking about the kid that keeps moving?
No,
him.
not you talking about.
He was at Carlo House the other day. His mama was.
Was Baskerville? Not him.
Baskerville.
What's the other one? I know who you talking about.
Starter.
Who?
He start.
He started for the basketball team.
Of course, we got
What
Mark.
is his name? And I'm sorry, Varina Nation. We don't know this kid's name, but I know.
Oh, Christian Carton. Yeah.
Tripping.
Yeah,
Christian.
Christian.
Okay.
Christian. Super tripping. Yeah, he played football for us. So it's like,
Damn.
where's the division at? Like I said, Anthony, who also played both, Miles played at Varina Rec. He was 1 year below us. But you have Anthony, Fonzo, Christian, and Amar Baylor. All were football players playing from the time they were 5 years old.
But are the seasons coming together? Like, what I meant by that is more so time.
Sure.
Like, because, to be as successful as both programs are, there's a lot of dedicated time because the championships are one win in the off season.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, being that both are so good on both levels, like the time, has that ever been an issue with?
I've been seeing Miles,
Yeah.
Derek Carr do both.
Okay.
You know,
So like right now, I think we kind of go off who's in season.
Okay.
So if you're in season now, like, all right, put more of your focus into this,
Okay.
and then you on your back end, if we
end.
don't have anything going on, you go.
Gotcha.
So like right now, I think they're in Philly. I believe they're in
Okay.
Philly. right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it may be a couple of kids there because we had 7-on-7 on Friday, so I'm pretty sure some of them went on Saturday, and
Right.
which I'm fine with that. And we communicate. I saw the canal all the time. He,
I love it.
He give me the update on
Oh yeah, you know that.
He knows
yeah, you
everything.
know that.
Yeah.
But
So,
you also know they focused all year too.
oh yeah.
Which is great.
Oh yeah. And they see that you have to be like this coaching is year round.
Yeah.
I put probably more time in this than I do my businesses or anything.
Anything. To
Wow.
Which is crazy.
and you talk about winning and that. You talk about winning. I remember after last spring, we had those 6 games in the spring.
Yeah, 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2. I mean, we came back for off-season workouts, and then I think in May.
Yeah, it was done in March.
It was in May, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had 8 kids. Started off with 8 kids.
Wow.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
8.
8 kids. Our first day this off season, we had over 60.
Yeah.
Wow.
So winning cures a lot of
It
things.
sure does. It sure does. I mean, you think about that. And how was that COVID year, man? That spring football.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
I don't even.
For a new staff, I'm like, it was a lot to try to get. And for defensively, I mean, it was a lot for us to try to get in sync as a coaching staff of what we wanted to do, as well as the kids. It was almost like a spring. Imagine like a spring in college of basic install, just trying to get the kids to play the way we want to play. It was almost like a practice season.
Okay.
So of course we wanted to win. We stepped out, we wanted to win. Right. No question.
True.
But going into this year, it was almost like kids finishing your sentences, especially for the defensive line.
Yep.
We say a lot of things repetitively to get kids. Repetition helps with
Get in the seat. Yep.
Yep. So I got a thing where I say focus. When you're playing defensive line, focusing on your man on key, focusing on your target. I say see a little, see a lot. So that's basically just narrowing your focus down on half man alignment on the edge of the guy. That you focus on that edge of the guy, that's gonna take you to the play. Getting your eyes, your hands connect to your feet. And I was saying stuff like that at the beginning and have to explain myself. But that fall, it was see a little, and everybody like see a lot.
Amen.
Just stuff like that. Just be able to get a season under your belt, and the kids kind of connected. I know we started off with how many guys? 35 guys on the team.
Yeah, we had a total of 36 on varsity.
36 on varsity.
What?
We had 36 on varsity coming in this year. And we probably ended with the JV all together.
But the JV coming, I think I probably brought up like 15.
Yeah.
15 guys. So we had a core of 30-something guys this year. I mean, you think about during 2-a-days, during scrimmages.
Right.
We had to cut scrimmages short.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
We had guys throwing up at the line of scrimmage. A lot of our offensive linemen were our defensive linemen.
Absolutely.
Everybody played both ways.
For those that don't know, what's an average amount that should be out there? When you say you got 30, what's a
At least 50.
at least 50?
At least.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably say 50. Yeah, and all our wide receivers started DB.
They just flip the
And
line.
we told them before the season started, I said, hey, we got to be in shape. We want to get to where we going. We got to be in shape. And then not only that, the COVID year, it was his first year at Varina, first year being D coordinator.
Wow.
Offensive coordinator, Leonard Mitchell, was his first year being a coordinator on varsity. So it's like just going into that, my first year being a head coach.
Yep.
And it was just like, we could figure it out. Then like you said, putting the pieces together, it's like it just worked out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we only had about 7 linemen. And that was tough in the trenches. And then in the Patrick Henry game, our starting center had a knee injury, so we had to pull up the JV center to finish out the season in the hottest part of the season.
Wow.
So now after Patrick Henry, we went into Holland Springs, and then we were in the playoffs. And so he got a baptism by fire. Evan Dixon did a great job for us down the stretch, being a 10th grader, having to get that pressure at the hottest time of the year. And he didn't have a whole lot of mistakes. So what we had to do to kind of piece this thing together, when you say stuff like, Varina in name should always be a powerhouse, but we, behind the scenes, we were making this thing work.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, because a lot of people was
chicken stuff.
a lot of people had Patrick Henry, but whoever won that game, they pretty much was like, well, between Patrick Henry and Varina, they was predicting, to win the championship. Right. I didn't see Patrick Henry play, but that's what the word was.
it was tough.
That was
Yeah.
They ran their
Physical
system. Yeah, physical. They had a quarterback that was like a running back, big back there. They had
They always had that out there.
They was definitely a physical, disciplined team. And they had some big boys too. I mean, what's the boy? 14, 15,
56.
56. They look good.
But our linemen were up for the challenge. I know we talked a lot about these skills, but I'm gonna shout out some lineman names, you know what I'm saying? DeAndre Crump, Marquise Vincent, Wayne Watson, Bird Spears.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to them guys. These are what's our 5 outside? So Albert center. All right, Wayne at guard, DeAndre Crump at a tackle, Marquise at another tackle.
And then Bird at the
other tackle. These guys did not come out the game.
They did not.
All year long. We played 15 games. That's a long season.
That's a real long season.
With 2 scrimmages, so that's 17 games. These guys did not come off the field unless they were injured.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this year we'll have some depth.
Prayerfully.
Yeah. But those guys did they climbed the mountain.
And
I always say
20 seniors?
21 seniors. And I always say linemen make the world go round, everybody else just live in it. Honestly, Varina, we get a lot of fast kids that's gifted and all that, but either you 250 or 270 or you ain't. And so for those guys to stand in the pocket for us, going both sides year round, getting through nicks and injuries throughout the season, I mean, I can't thank them enough, because they were the foundation.
You talked a lot about the adversity. You also talked about you all being first years over at Varina, and you had the success you had. There's a lot of successful, not to take anything away from what you were able to accomplish, but recently there's been a lot of success in general in society of the first year head coach at certain locations. You think about the first year over there at Boston for this. He didn't go all the way, but it was his first year as head coach. Okay, you got that first year head coach with the Bengals, and they got to the Super Bowl. I can keep going on. I'm not going to name drop here, but what I'm trying to say is, what do you think it is? Because you all have been doing a whole lot of work behind the scenes before you get that call to where you are the head coach. But of course, what people were kind of scared to bring on first year head coaches. They need experience. They need this. We got to give them years. We need to do. But recently, you started to see where these first year head coaches come in and let's do it. What do you think it is about them first year head coaches are able to? Is it the relationships you've built prior to? You think to bring in the right puzzle pieces to make it work? Do you think there's no fear? That false evidence appearing real, that it ain't out there? Like, what is it that you guys are doing?
I think it's all the above. And honestly, I didn't even know that about the other coaches, honestly. But for me, I've been around it so long.
Yeah.
I've been coaching high school since 2008. When I became the D coordinator, I grew into that. To where, and I'm a person, I ain't panicking.
Right.
Like right now, what you see is what you go get on.
Yeah. You always be even
I
killed.
do be in a different mode to where I'm gonna be yelling and all that.
Yeah.
When the kids know when I get to that, like it's time to go. But I already knew the vision when I got it.
Yes.
I knew who I wanted. I knew I wanted him to come close to the line.
You knew it.
Man, you can't. I mean, what this guy did in high school and in college and in the league speaks for itself. And he's a Blue Devil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach Q did at Varina Rec and the discipline that he demanded, and I mean, he had them kids like robots. I knew I had that. I knew I needed to get that. Definitely Marine. Dante Boston. We ain't speak on him. Wide receiver coach. Played at Varina. Played at U of R. So our staff alone did it. You know what I mean? We it's like we did it on a high level. We played at a high level to where it's like I knew if I could get these pieces to come together, and we all got the same goal. One, we love these kids. We want to turn them into men. And to where it's just I don't even think we even argue. We can have a disagreement.
Really?
And we go talk about it. And I'm a big person on like, I ain't bring y'all on to be yes men.
Right. Right.
Talk, be who you are, like Coach Q said, like, I'm gonna let him be him. Hey, Coach Q, you got him? I know when I walk away, he got him.
He got him.
If I can't make it to practice, he got him.
Got him.
Along with some of the other coaches. To where it's like, it's a trust factor with us. And then the kids see that. They see that we on fold to where it's like, and we make them believe too.
Yeah.
To where it's like, we go get everything that we want from our kids. A lot of these kids go run through brick walls. And I mean, throughout the whole playoff, I don't even know if they know. I'm texting them individually. Hey, I need this from you. I need that from you. I need this from you. And it's like, I probably did text probably at least 15 to 20 of them.
Yeah.
I'm at home, mind running. Let me send this message.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
You're able to connect with
yeah,
these kids. You're connecting with
Yes.
them.
Because I really care about them. It's like I was that kid. I didn't have, like, Chill Coden was great coaches and stuff, but they couldn't relate to me. They couldn't relate what was
Right.
going on in my household.
Right.
It
was just business for them.
We can relate to these kids.
That's so true.
Right.
And that's been a big thing is everybody's now getting head coaches to be between that age of like 30, 38 to like 45, 46.
relate.
Whereas, back in the day, we were getting
Older.
60, 65-year-old head coaches that had 25 years of experience. But if
Right.
you look at recent history, what's going on is these guys that are coming in, I was you.
Yeah.
I just did what you did 5 years ago.
Yep.
But there's got to be a level of respect to where, you ain't but 2 years younger than me, but I'm your head coach now. You know what I mean? In the professionals is what I'm getting at.
Some kids, we had to say that, look, I ain't your friend.
Right.
I'm your coach.
That's right.
No 18-year-old fan.
But that's my take on it as far as your question.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all feel.
No, I mean, I think you hit it 100%. And the biggest thing for me is that when I look at a kid, and I do a lot of same things, Coach does. We want to build real relationships with them. And my whole thing, if God made you a 6, you're going to have to be a 6. But you will not be a 5.5. So if you're giving me your best, and that's legitimately what it is, then I can live with that. So for me, is rule number 1 is be cool, my best attitude and max effort. Like, outcome is really irrelevant because sometimes something you think is a L at the time is really a win in the long run. Yeah. All those L's that I took at Armstrong put me in a place where I care.
Fell forward.
Yeah, yes, that adversity made me, I was running in sand. So now when I come to see these beautiful facilities we have at Varina, I have a little more love with it, right? Because we didn't have a home field, right?
Nope.
And I'm going to make sure that you know how blessed you are to be in this position. And also, why would you show up just to go through the motions? You came in to be great. So if everybody raise your hand and say yes on that, then what do you have to do to do that? Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody want to die. And we got to die a little bit, get the glory together, Because we need to find out who you are in these moments. And why would you not be your best self? Now, that don't mean we all create equal. I mean, obviously, me and this man, we're not created equal, right? He got sweet feet, big hands, he's tall, wide across the shoulders, right? But at the end of the day, if you just give me everything that you have, what more can I ask for?
So we asking.
And then there's a blessing in that for you as an individual, because now you know that you actually did something to your best of your ability, regardless of how the outcome was. You have nothing else to give.
So when they hit that again in life, which is when they will hit that again in life, they go right back to that memory of what was able to be created in that situation. I can do it again.
Yeah. And my favorite saying is bigger than football.
Amen.
It ain't about football. It's about life.
Yeah, and I say this too. I piggyback on these guys as far as why were we successful. I think the buy-in from the community. They got community guys. So from day one when they came out and said he was a head coach and things of that nature,
Yep.
we had a huge
Everybody got behind it.
buy-in.
Right now.
Huge community buy-in.
Yep.
And I'm thankful for these guys, him, Kennard, coming from Armstrong, moving to Varina,
Right.
and having a larger community
Right.
from the East End, coming to Varina, you know, helping down in the rec program, bringing these kids.
Pipeline.
It takes a village, and right now we have a strong village in Varina. You know, it always was strong, but we were the kids in the pipeline. Now we're the kids becoming the adults in the pipeline. And I think a lot of these kids' parents went to school with us, going for something else.
Right.
So it gives parents a different comfort level of sending their child to us. They know what they're getting. They know who we are. Yeah. So, I mean, the community, it was big. I don't know how many when we won it, when we got the job. I don't know how many the posts of me being the defensive coordinator is probably one of my biggest Facebook posts.
Right.
The post of us winning, it was probably one of my biggest Facebook
Yeah, because you were named.
Because we're a part of the community.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
And see, that's the thing. I'm sorry, Coach, go ahead.
And I'm about to say, we had some people ready to jump ship. People that
That was my next question.
People
That was my next
know
question.
who I was, and I pick with him to this day. And it's for real. Like one of them, like my son. He reminded me of myself when I was that age. So I had to sit down with him and the parent. Like, you know, I got to let you know who I am before you decide to make that move and stop listening to everybody.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sell your dream. I'm not gonna do none of that. And having that conversation to a couple of people, they stayed, they finished, they going to college for free. That's what it's about. And I think, you know, the other ones, like Coach said, I mean, a lot of other people do know me. You know,
right?
I mean? And they see the success outside of just being a football coach.
Yeah.
And they see that we're good people. We go raise our kids. We fathers.
Yeah, y'all family coaching and stuff like that. And y'all always, even your brother Carlos, when he was coaching, he was always involved with the kids. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. And that just brings me to that next question. You just took it. Because you know that team that's down the street, you know, talk about that. Let's call it what it is. It got to be some pressure. Them guys winning over there, they 4 or 5. Was it pressure to y'all? Like, maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Like you said, you got parents that say, "Well, they winning over there. Y'all ain't won nothing." You know, that's how they talk, right? It was like, so how was that experience? I mean, let's dig into that because they was whirling them off 1, 2, 3. Was it 1, 4 straight?
I think so.
Yep.
Right. Cool. So it's like, well, if y'all ain't gonna do it over here, I'm going over there just to piggyback. And I know some parents that I've seen that was over there with y'all, won't call no names, and they jumped straight on over there. I'm not gonna say that, but y'all won, and this year they didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
honestly, like, so the guys that I sat down and spoke to as far as I was just speaking about, they weren't going over there though.
Okay.
Because now you got the LCA to where kids can
right. They got that going on there.
And we had some other coaches that was with us that went to another high school.
Right.
It was more so leaning that way. But honestly, when I took it, I ain't thinking about them, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's us at the end of the day. I mean, we in 2 different conferences. I actually called Coach Johnson and you know, try to pick his brain, because my biggest thing is being a head coach and trying to balance, you know, my married life. You know, how do you do that?
How you do that, right? Because he's big in the community too, right?
My wife is everything to me, and it's like I got to make sure I'm putting her first, and I lean on Coach Q as well. So it was more so our conversation with that to include like, how can we come together for our community?
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, them kids they East End kids.
Yes.
Right.
And I feel like it's more, and I was real with Coach Johnson. Some of your staff I don't really rock with.
Right.
To where it's like it was just certain things being said when Coach Brown was the head coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? With me, they can't do that.
Right.
What you gonna say? I mean, honestly.
No, that's real talk.
At the end of the day, my biggest thing is like, man, these are the same kids that grew up together. We didn't coach some of them kids over there. We got family over there. My girls go there.
Right.
To where I just want to see all our kids do good at the end of the day. But what can we do to stop some of the stuff that's going on?
Right.
This violence. How can we come together
right.
and say, all right, let's do this. Forget what everybody else saying, hey, we rivals. Yeah, we rivals. Yeah, that's just football stuff.
Right.
At the end of the day, I really care about all these kids.
That's right.
Sure.
But looking at their season, I mean, I was just trying to pick his brain. I wasn't even think about them.
Right, and that's good. I just want to ask the question. I mean, because again, that's what happens.
Yeah.
People gravitate towards winning. We talked about that earlier. It's that East End is all the way to Highland Springs. Highland Springs. They couldn't beat Bird. They couldn't beat Hermitage. They couldn't beat Bird. Then they ran their thing. Now it's you guys' turn. So it's like y'all were just waiting in the wings. Varina was always competitive.
Oh yeah.
Y'all would either be 8-2, 9-1. Let's go back to the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Even early 90s.
And see, I never lost it, though.
Oh,
Playing.
hey, within the shade, let's go.
So it's like, to me, it's like, bro, I ain't never lose it though. What we talking about?
Right.
And it's like really just going into the season, like we one game at a time. Whoever we up, that's who I focus on. We can't look ahead. We one game at a time, each and every day. Let's get better.
That's it.
And that's the approach that all of us do. Right. We don't even bring no teams up other than the team we about to play. Like right now, play Hopewell first. I'm already looking at their games.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's who up. We've got Manchester, we got Clover Hill for scrimmage. School, cool.
Yeah, Manchester and Hopewell being kind of like y'all beginning season rivals. I kind of see that now because it's always a measuring stick.
Yeah, they trying to like with the Hopewell game. They trying to bring back the
Blue Devils
type
right?
game, which I think is good. And we used to play them when I was there. We didn't get to play them this past year because of COVID, and they was getting tested every week. I don't know how they.
I don't know what they doing down there in Hopewell.
But
shout out to Hopewell. Well, I don't know what they had going on down there.
Yeah,
I wanted to speak on the Highland Springs situation because my experience is a little bit different because my son played there. He was there before the first 2 championships that they have, and he was a part of the second 2 because he's 23, graduated from Virginia Tech. So he played on that staff because he got into the ACA College Academy. I lived 3 minutes from Varina High School, but it was a great opportunity. He graduated with 61 college credits, right?
Hey, shout out to your son, man.
Yeah.
All right now.
Saving
What?
Good job, Brandon. You did good, sir. So it never felt like this petty us against you situation. Like, he poured into my son. He did a great job with you. You have to respect what the man did, being a young black man taking it for 5 straight championship runs.
Right.
If the only way you can hate on that is if you're a hater.
Thank you.
I mean, give him his credit for what he's done for this area, showing that a young black man can lead other black men to greatness, right? Yeah. So if you got to call a spade now when it's football time, right? And so we got to get after it. But these kids are within a couple of blocks. Half of them grew up together. How in the world could I say that this is different from the kid that we coach never around? It's no difference. We love these kids.
But these parents, they do it that way. I mean, that's where it comes from.
But I'll be honest, that's why it's none of our business.
Right.
It's none of our business. Honestly, it was always stuff being said. We had a really great run with us. We were winning every year. We won the championship every year when I was at Rec.
Right.
I never was on any page. I was never on any. Even I had friends that really loved me. I'm like, don't tell me that. That's not gonna have me coach any harder because they talk shit.
Because they talk right.
It's like so for me. Let's stay on page. That is petty. If you're an insecure man, then that may get to you. But that's their business, and that may be a better position for your family.
Right.
Do that, right? But what we're going to do is focus on what we control in our house, which is getting the best out of what we got. Whether that's a championship, that's great. If it's not, it's great. Yeah, but I think that's just insecure man stuff for you for you to be worrying about what somebody else is doing. Water your grass.
The best teams worry about themselves.
So
right.
Do what we do.
Do what we do. It's not about them. It's about us.
Listen.
And like they all said, Coach, that's my OG. He was a Virginia Tech grad.
Right. Shout out to
me
Coach
coming
John.
into Virginia Tech and him being a GA at Virginia Tech. So that's how far we go back.
Okay.
And he's done a wonderful thing for Highland Springs, for the East End.
Yeah.
And we always say,
iron balance.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron.
Right.
Iron sharpens iron, and we're glad those guys be able to do what they did because that helps us.
Right, that's how I see it. I love the competition.
Now we're in a situation where we're not even battling for a state championship anymore.
Right.
We can win one, you all can win one. So now this game come, we're gonna knock the mess out of each other. Now, week 9, we're gonna knock the mess out of each other.
Trying to get that changed though.
Yeah, but see, for me, it felt different. You wait till November 2nd or November 5th, Highland Springs, Varina. The winner back in the day, the winner go on playoffs, the loser go home. How the hell you be 8-2 and 9-1 not make the playoffs?
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And it be cold. Everybody in Richmond there.
Right.
And it's like, how y'all just take that away?
But that really helped us that AAA, AA, single A class system really won't work. Other states have been doing what we're doing now.
They're doing that, right?
Years.
Right, they've been doing it, right?
Based on school size,
right?
And it really hurt the Richmond area.
Okay,
it really hurt the Richmond area. for the 757 teams and the Northern Virginia team. We in the state champ. We talk about that state. We played C.D. Hilton back to back, 98,
99. Yep.
with 42 guys on our team.
Right.
They had 100 guys. They warm ups from the goal line to about the 45 of players.
Okay.
So I'm like, how in the world we playing? You know, you think back and as an adult, I mean, we lost the game. We went out there and played, we lost by 1 point. But when you look back at it as an adult, you look at it, how in the world we had 1,400
Right.
and they had 2,600.
Right.
In a football game can be a game of attrition. Why in the world are we playing these? Why are we in Division 6?
But a lot of people don't like the system, though, Jonathan. They don't. They don't like. They don't
favor
like
them.
And especially 7-5, they can't stand it. We got to go back to the old way.
No.
And some ways I like the old way. I do, the competitiveness. But you're right. It makes sense. If you get to choose from 2,600 kids versus 1,400, I mean, come on, man. Let's do the math there.
Let's talk about Armstrong. We were the capital district, and I think we had 650 kids in the whole school.
Trust me.
So you talking about a guy who played literally the whole game, like not like, oh man, we played. No, I started at guard, all 4 special teams, and strong side linebacker. So it wasn't even really fair for us to play Varina when they had
Right, because I think when we graduated, I think we had 50 kids.
Right.
At Kennedy.
And to play them and say if Armstrong had a great year and they turn around and had to play us in the playoffs.
Playoffs, right.
Come on now.
You know what's going to happen.
You know, right now, 650 kids, what you, 2-8?
Yeah, 2A, yeah. I think John Marshall 2A now.
Right.
And they got what? And I just talked to Coco about this yesterday. She was at the house. And they got 400 students.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So what you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, and also
TJ 2A?
resources and money and all those type of things. Just the community being able to pour into the team. I mean, just the pool is way smaller. And so even if you have a solid team with some good athletes, because Armstrong has some solid teams in the 90s and late 80s, it just was hard to compete with just that many more kids. I mean, it was one year. One of the teams we played had more kids in their graduating class. They had more seniors than we had in the school. I mean, that's, so for those who complain about that, I understand it from a fan perspective, but you're speaking from a fan perspective, not from what's equal for kids and being competitive.
Level playing field.
So you think, so I'd say, well, we're partly to blame for that. Let's just take, I'm gonna stand up and say that. And the reason why I'm gonna say that, because we took our kids from the city and we moved straight to the county. Can we say that we're not part of the blame for that? Y'all, anybody disagree with that?
I mean,
I know I did.
It's funny. It's a natural progression,
Right.
It's generations. I know my dad grew up in Churchill,
Right.
in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
He was that first wave in the late 70s and the early 80s once Philip Morris started having those jobs, and
yep.
Reynolds and guys getting those jobs, started making money. And what was the next step to move to?
To the county. Holland Springs, Varina.
You know what I'm saying? All my family, my brothers and I are the first generation of Lewises on my side that actually went to a county school. They all went to Armstrong and John Marshall,
Right,
and things of that nature. So, and you think about Kennard and his family. He's that next generation of kids,
Right.
Armstrong, trying to find a better situation for his family.
So you move to the next county. That's typically how it is.
What to the county,
Yep, that's how it is. Everybody in Southside, George Will, Huguenot, Meadowbrook, Monacan.
Right.
So that's why I said the county benefited from that, really. And then you get to the county, you move to the private schools.
Right.
I mean, I did that too.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go into that.
If we had our kids that live in Varina that didn't go to private school, come to Varina, it'd be a problem out here.
Big problem. Big problem.
But I mean, to each his own, man. I mean, to each his own. I mean,
LCA.
That's the biggest thing about building the community. We're building a space to where guys say, I don't got to go there.
But see, that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Especially in the East End. Varina, Holland Springs are just building, like guys don't got to do it. That's what we talked with Kennard and them about. I remember you had a segment when you was like guys are staying now.
Right.
You don't have to leave no more.
Yeah.
At first it's like, man, I'm going to private schools really weren't big in football around here, but it was more so basketball. But now you guys are like, well, we can stay right here. We got a community. You ain't got to go over there. I got the same resources they got over there. We got over here. It may look a little better, but
it ain't the same though.
it ain't the same.
The resources ain't the same. It ain't the same with the West End schools,
Right.
The East End schools. The type of money that they get raised and the people that make is totally different.
Man, like the West End Henrico and the East End Henrico is two totally different. You like, why you only got 2 schools and high schools in Henrico, Eastern Henrico, and you got about 7, 8,
Yeah.
and still building in Western Henrico?
And got money.
Ain't got money?
Yeah.
Parent teacher conference. I mean, not parent conference. What do you call it? PTA.
Yeah.
They better be glad we don't have less schools in the East End, because if you imagine the Holland Springs Varina combination, we have to take it on the road. I mean, in that small area, how much talent
In that area, right?
This little hole where we're at, we seen it from wrecking it. Those kids coming up playing together and against each other, some epic games down the stretch. They better be glad we got 2 schools out here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just thinking, just listening to you all talk. I'm just sitting there, I'm listening, and I'm just taking it all in, and I'm taking in when I got to talk to Coach Boom and his staff. And I'm a parent. I want my kids to play for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about, like, yeah, I want to take them to private school. I want to take them here. When you hear you all just speak about people and about kids and about community, and not to mention the talent. Yeah, you got the talent, but y'all got knowledge of the game.
Right.
Just adapt, overcome. That's all sports
That
is.
won't happen in there.
But I'm hearing, I mean, just listening. If I'm a parent watching this or listening to this podcast, how can we get to Varina? Yeah, you got the championship, sure. Mm-hmm. But even if y'all didn't have the championships,
Right.
we know you're on that path to get there.
Right.
You've already got the ring, the hardware to show that you're there.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is,
work.
it's going to keep on repeating itself, because when you listen to what you guys are talking about, it's not just y'all, it's on the basketball side too. I'm going to Route 5. And you're talking about, we know, I said it last time, I said, we know where Varina was, but now we're listening to who Varina is.
Yeah, damn right.
Who are y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are just going to keep on bringing this out over and over and over.
Kids are
'Cause,
coming.
I mean, why would you go anywhere else?
And the sad thing about it, we didn't even touch on what we really do with our kids outside of football. It's like I said, it's so much bigger than football. But when we speaking on the private school, when I talk to some of the parents, I'm like, why are y'all going over there? I mean, now you can reclass. So
That's one
looking at
advantage,
that, like,
right?
all right, well, you can come back here, but all right, your kid already got the size. What are you reclassing about?
Right, because you have to apply for that, right?
Yeah, you got, and I don't know if you got to pay or not, but you got so many people in these parents' ears to where it's like, I guess they like, better education, less distraction. But what they gonna do when they go to college?
That's the problem. That's life. Life ain't nothing but a distraction.
Yeah, but what they gonna do when they go to college? To where my kids is at Holland Springs, and it's like I love it because, like, all right, I feel like when they leave, whether it's Varina or Holland Springs, they ready for college.
Right.
I want them to have the distractions. I'd rather you have the distractions while you coming home to me. We could talk about this.
Exactly.
Because you in college, your parents can't. I mean, what they gonna do? They not there. So where now you got a kid that go to college, and this my opinion, to where it's like they ain't been through nothing. What they gonna do? Because college. I mean, I don't know if everybody went to college here. But it's a lot of exposure in college.
Right.
Like when I was getting recruited, I went to Monacan before Monacan was Monacan. And when I was getting recruited, you're looking at the Virginia schools, ODU, Virginia Tech, all those people, all those colleges. Ended up going to Virginia, and I keep talking to, I see my techie over here. I mentioned that I'm a Wahoo.
I actually got some graduate school courses at YGA that you did for a while.
Yes.
So I got a little
some. But ever since what happened in the late 2000s, I feel like we family.
Right,
Not to go into that, but when I was thinking about that, I was thinking that too. It's like I wanted to go somewhere. Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere that Don Staley went and all that kind of. That was why I went, but I also thought about that. I was like, if I go to ODU, I'm right by the beach. Am I going to go to class? When George Washington and Georgetown were coming in and recruiting, I was like, I like Patrick Knapp. He was up at Georgetown. George Washington had an amazing coach. They had, I forget what his name was on the boys team at the time, but he like balding, light skin. I cannot think of his name, but he was there in the early 2000s. And I just love what they were doing up there. But I was thinking, DC? Me? I grew up in Chesterfield County. What I'm gonna do when I go to DC?
Maybe.
So I was like, I didn't go to class because my mom was pretty strict. I had to be in at a certain time, and I had mentors I love them to death that made me do what I needed to do every morning. So I was like, I'm finally away from all of that.
Right.
What I'm gonna do when I go to college? Show out.
Right.
So I went somewhere where I felt like there was, it was kind of in the country, and I thought I would, go to class. But I think that's something that kids think about nowadays, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're getting that. That's what I'm going to ask you about the colleges and stuff as they're going to places. Are you all involved in that as far as getting to know the college coaches?
Yeah.
And getting the.
I am.
Okay.
I'm definitely involved because I want to know, where our kids going to. You know what I mean? If they will get the same type of treatment. I know it's a business, but at the same time, our kids want to feel like it's a family atmosphere.
Yep.
And like we're kind of teaching our kids like what to look for, what questions to ask.
Yep.
When you go, I didn't have none of this. I'm telling you, I was the first person in my family to go to college. Didn't know what I was going to college for. And it kind of go back to you talking about UVA. When I was heading to school, I got a call from Morgan State. I was like, I ain't going to Morgan State. I'm going to Baltimore.
Right, yeah.
I
The hood in Baltimore, too.
I didn't understand the value of really HBCUs.
Yes.
Nobody was
talk about that.
Nobody
Yes.
was preaching that to me. To where it's like now, I would have did that.
Yes.
Hands down. But I'm definitely involved. I'm not telling our kids where they need to go. I'm just telling them the way their options out, talking to the parents to make sure it's a good fit. And then I'm kind of looking at that too. Some kids don't need to be where it's a lot of distractions.
Right.
Some kids may need to go where it's some woods and it's focused on what they need to focus on. And I think it's more so just knowing your kids, honestly. At the end of the day, it's their choice. I'm gonna speak my opinion on it. And some of the coaches probably pull them to the side, talk to the parents. Like for my goal, that's why I don't coach nothing. Like, I just oversee. I want to know every parent. I want to know what's going on in your house. I want to see, what's the dynamics. And then that's going to tell me a lot about that kid anyway. How he act, how he respond, what he got going on. And so that's my goal. When these parents come and say they decide to come around, who are you? How can I help? How can we help outside of just being a football coach? Because I know it's so much more than just being a football coach. A lot of our kids, don't have a father figure.
Nope.
Or getting raised by grandma or a single parent, single mom or grandma. To where it's like, that's when I really feel like we can really help these kids out succeed in life.
Amen.
With us, we push grades. Henrico County is a 2.0 rule. We trying to encourage ours 3.0.
That's right.
Because you can't get in no school no 2.0.
Nope.
So, to me, I love that more than coaching right now, to be honest with you. I really love, getting to know our families and what's going on. And, you talking about adversity. We ain't even speak on this, but just having a kid during the season get shot. And a lot of people don't know that our kids had to deal with that during the season.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, to this day it's still crazy. Just seeing them having to deal with that and go through that. But I think that is another difference too, as far as the East and West End schools, to where it's like, and it bothers me, to where anything in the East End is getting reported.
Yep.
Come to find out,
same stuff happening out there.
somebody in Franklin military that had a gun, but I ain't see that on the news. So they quick to put out there everything that's going on wrong, but they ain't talking about what's going good.
Nope.
And that drives me crazy more than anything. And to us, talking to our kids, man, don't let them be able to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like football, basketball, we run the school. Let's set the standard. Let's be
Proof is in the
accountable.
pudding.
Yeah, we had one kid, Marquise Vincent, that a kid kind of jumped on a teacher to where he had to get that kid up off him. I said that's what we trying to raise here, man. And if we tell our football kids, man, if you walk a certain way, everybody else gonna follow you.
That's right.
That's where it is, man. I mean, y'all got maybe hey man, you got a spot for me on the team. I mean, can I just be like a liaison?
I'm serious.
Man, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So be ready to coach again.
So saying all that, what do we expect for 22-23 season? Do we expect a repeat? Do we expect, I mean, we know y'all gonna compete, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a message from the Hampton Roads group. They say they coming for y'all. Next year, Kings Fork is there. That's exactly what they told me to tell y'all. So yeah, I'm always stirring that pot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stir that pot. So what do y'all say about that?
I think the Kings. I didn't know his background, but he reached out to me. I had a couple of coaches reach out to me through Twitter.
These were fans. I don't want to say it was the team.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fans. It was the fans.
Okay.
It was the fans.
For us, I mean, the goal is to repeat for sure. I think we have enough pieces
Okay.
to do it. It's all about just coming together. We young up front, but we got 11th and 10th graders offensive line.
Yep.
But I think they could be good.
Yeah.
It's a great problem. We probably only got 11 seniors.
Okay.
But a lot of our kids got a lot of playing time, and a lot of the kids that we brought up saw the journey.
Yep.
They were
Right.
part of the journey, so they know what it takes. And honestly, our younger group is amazing. We got our O-line, great group of kids.
Man.
Amazing, smart, intelligent kids, where it's like,
Very cool.
and with Coach Q in their minds now, they already know what time it is. To where I'm looking forward to it. If we can hold up there, we will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
I think I'm a big focus guy, and
Okay.
of course, the goal is to do what we did, but I always Marty Schottenheimer. I was fortunate to be coached by Marty Schottenheimer.
What's
It with the Virginia Destroyers.
Okay.
So I during that NFL lockout year, I decided to go to UFL, and the Virginia Destroyers down in Virginia Beach had a team coached by Marty Schottenheimer.
Okay.
And he always said the game of football is one play at a time.
Yep. That's right.
So my goal is to get better one play at a time. You know, we know what the ultimate goal is, but I'm focused on that next play, that next thing. It's all about focus. And if we do the little things right, the big things will take care of itself.
I know that's right.
So I'm looking to kick hind parts one play at a time, one quarter.
You know, I've been trying to get y'all to go there, man. Y'all been so cool, man. I'm like, y'all just like so mellow. Like, we gonna get y'all. We gonna like, we gonna, don't worry about it. We
Let they play
do the talking. I love it though.
Yes.
He'll tell you, I was the type of player, I had my mouthpiece in the side. Them boys did all the talk. I ain't say nothing. I have to, I'm trying to breathe. And man, when them 4 seconds, boy, that's 4 seconds that you do not want to have on your hands. Then I'm chill again. Them next 4 seconds, that's the 4 seconds you do not want to have on your hand. You don't want to deal with these 4 seconds. I'm gonna kick your butt 4 seconds at a time. I ain't gonna say nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's my mentality, and the kids kind of know my mentality. I'm chill and mellow when we get on the field, you know.
Right.
And he the same way.
Amen.
He 24/7, 365. He hyped up.
So my whole thing is, and so kind of piggyback with Coach is saying, 100%. Like we start every year. You start over from scratch, and so we want to get ahead of ourselves. And luckily for football, like it's this type of sport where we gonna see. It's nothing to say. It's about to be a fight, and so we don't have to talk about it. It's going down whenever we see on the schedule.
Y'all heard that, right?
So let's make sure that we do our part to make sure that we. I heard this really dope quote. Let me back up. It says, "Be prepared as you go through the valley." Right. And so right now, what we're trying to do is give our kids the armament they need when we go through this valley, because we're gonna have some dark times. That's how seasons go. That we are strong in the valley. Period. And so whatever comes out of that, if you can die in a way, and I always said, in order to live, somebody got to die, right? If we do end up dying in a way to where we had nothing else left, that's a glorious death.
Facts.
And so, I mean,
300.
what more can you ask?
He had a thing he always said last year, and this is how he talks 24/7. This is what the kids
It's like it flows.
Yeah, it flows. This is what the kids get. So the kids get so much stuff, and he always say, at the end of last year, he was like, "How you want to die? How you want to die? This season gonna be over with a ring on our finger or not. All right, it's getting close to the end. Seniors, he break it down to the days, the minutes.
Last Wednesday, June 3rd.
Yes. How you want to die? And
Love it.
basically, your destiny is your hand. How do you want to write you writing your own story? You got the pen in your hand. How you want this to end? So I mean, he got me hyped up about that. But he's just a big. You can see the motivation. He got you ready. You got y'all ready to put a helmet on.
Right.
That's how he motivates our
I'm gonna apply
kids.
for me a job. So let me come through.
And I'm telling y'all, we ain't even tell y'all everything that we doing. Like I get a kick out of the stuff we doing outside of football.
No doubt.
Like we got financial advisors coming in. We got people coming in about
me and you
credit.
talked about that. To talk
We
about
got
that
people
real quick.
coming in
but
just to teach these kids about life skills. To me, that's I love that part of it.
And Coach, don't sell yourself short. He owns a mental health business. Yeah. So dealing with, and so often, like, our kids don't know how to deal with their emotions. And you have good kids being put in positions because they don't know how to manage their anger, basically, in a lot of cases, or even just their sadness. So being able to look at a kid and you see something's off, and you come to him like, "Hey, what's going on? Talk to me." And he knows that he has a place where not only do we care about you, we got some tools. Like, he's trained in that to be able to get resources if it's necessary, because we don't know what these kids are going through sometimes.
No, you don't.
And so we try to push for them to give us the information, let us in, trust us enough. Because, we talk about football and we want to talk trash, and yes, we want to beat our chest, but are you going to be a good father, husband, and brother, man? Are you going to be okay, be able to live a life? Are you going to be able to have experiences and not get cut short? Because in my 19 seasons, I've been to some funerals. I have some kids that ain't never going to get out of jail. And that is the worst thing in the world, to know that a mistake that you can't recover from. Because we've all made mistakes.
Right.
And so these are kids from great families and moms is teen moms and their sons never getting out of jail, or we having to bury them, or you will never walk again. And so this is what we're really fighting against. Everybody wants to talk about sports, but shit, man, like life.
Yeah.
Life.
Life. So if I give you some tools and we can pour into you early to where when you are making those mistakes, you're falling and learning forward, and you survive your mistakes, because they don't all survive their mistakes. And you know, we're Juneteenth. So many things I'm learning about, and not to get in too deep, but we got an extra burden as black men, period. Some of the laws and things were put in place were deliberately set for us to slow up. And I'm not one of these is making excuses, right? But to be aware of the additional pitfalls, and we need to be more on our game, because there were distinct things set up in laws and cases that I just got my mind blown from a documentary I saw before I came here on Netflix. I mean, these were laws that were changed in order to keep us in positions of subjugation, basically. And so,
a whole nother segment.
Yes. So some of those things are still reverberating through how we're viewed in places. Like, you got to think, Coach been about this big when he was 16, 17 years old. So if you don't notice, if a 200-pound Rottweiler puppy comes down the street, you don't know who dog that is.
Right.
So somebody need to get him, or we're gonna have to deal with him, right?
Yeah. man
our kids, like, these are man children who look like a threat with how we've been portrayed. So we need bulls in the village to be able to say, hey man, come with me.
Yeah.
Before something else happens to you on the street that you can't recover from.
Yeah.
So that's why football is cool, but manhood is better.
We gotta have a part two with them. You hear me?
Yeah, we definitely, because there's so much we go through. Because we get close to the end right now, man. Because we want to talk about, like I said, your financial literacy and the mental health part. Talk about that, man. Because I know you want to do a podcast. We was talking about that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the podcast was gonna be more so just having people, like a Kanal, like a Jonathan Hargett, tell their story. I think these kids gotta, hear other people that was before them and learn. You know what I mean? Now you got YouTube to where you can go learn from anything.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, take this and use it as an advantage.
Source.
Even now, I mean, you talking about NIL deals and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, so now we're teaching our kids or encouraging our kids to brand yourself, market yourself. You can go to college and change your whole life.
Whole life.
Everybody ain't guaranteed to go to the NBA, go to NFL, but hey, you can make some money right now.
That was a game changer.
Yeah. So even that, I'm on the phone with lawyers. They're making sure if I can maximize my kids and their parents and they can take advantage of their opportunity for working hard and having good grades, I'm gonna make sure they do that. But not only that, what you gonna do with that money? Are you gonna invest it? Do you understand the importance of taxes? So we teaching our kids that stuff that I didn't even know. Sure. Just even with the credit. My kids been on my credit since they was 10. My oldest, when she turned 18, she had a 786 credit score. Do you know the power of that?
Yeah, that is cool.
And then even Coach talked about me. Coach owned businesses too.
Yeah, we was talking off air about that.
So we in real estate, so we're teaching them. We got some kids that don't want to go to college. What do you want to do? I want to get my CDL. All right, we got some people that got a CDL school that you can go to.
Right.
We might even help you get your first truck.
Right.
Just give us on the back end. Because my thing is, like, if I could set them up to win in life, I'm going to do it.
That's
Anything I could do to make them be successful. And I'm big on ownership. Our kids know, man, you got to own stuff. Got to own stuff. Forget all that designer stuff. All that's cool. Go have it. But, man, invest your money.
And as far as I know,
Generational wealth.
like,
Let's get some.
And for real, my ultimate goal is to bring my families together in Varina to where we start buying our own land. We start developing our own community.
a lot of people are talking
Why
about.
we keep on letting somebody else come out here and do that? Why it's enough of us to put money in the pot to build up to do our own thing. And to us, I feel like we fight against each other so much and worry about what the next person got. Look, if I can get 5% over there, 2% over there, I'm cool. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm trying to change our mindset on that at our school. And if I could get our kids to start thinking like that, when they come back, they get jobs, they already ready.
Yeah, man.
They prepared. We teaching them about, whole life insurance, about universal life insurance. And so my ultimate goal too is just like, all right, parents, summertime, hey, we're going to have this class together.
And
Ask
parents, if you don't know, you can join in too.
And then I tell them, if you do know, educate us.
Right.
Don't hold this information, man. We here to educate each other, to build each other up. And for me, that's the ultimate goal.
Man, parents, the future parents, why wouldn't y'all want to come over here and have your kid play with these gentlemen right here? And this is just 3 of them. You see,
We've only got to talk to 6.
yeah, of top the whole, of man.
And these are conversations in our group chat. I might worry them to death. So I'm big on EYL University. I'm big on Wall Street Trapper. I'm big on Ian Dunlap. Man, this education out here for free. And we
People
can
don't
take
even want to
advantage of
know.
this.
Right.
It's like, crypto, NFTs, just all of that. Like, I mean, stocks. Like Amazon just did a split. It's the cheapest time to get Amazon for
right now.
$15.
Yeah.
What?
Shing.
Exactly. So where it's like just
talking about that earlier.
Yeah, just empowering our people, man. It's like, and I don't know it all, but the little bit I do know, I'm gonna share it.
That's right.
And then
a lot of people don't want to do that.
And I'm telling our kids, man, like build relationships, get in rooms to where you feel uncomfortable at.
Yeah.
Get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Get around people that make you stand on your tippy toes.
Who you telling?
Come on.
Who you telling? I'm trying to get in the rooms, man. Like
sit at them tables.
Yeah.
You said if you're the smartest person in the room, then that means you're in the wrong room. Right.
And we got some kids that get it already. Michael Long, our linebacker, man, he one of the smartest kids I've ever seen. He'll talk to you to death about gold stocks, about all types of stuff. We had a group come in, what is TSW, I believe that's the name of the company. And he just wove them away. I couldn't even make it. I think I was at a graduation or something, but I got a call. They was like, man, this kid is smart. I said the name before he even said it. I said, you talking about Michael Long? He said, how you know? I said, because he is. And so where it's like he already, only thing I do is send him an email. He got an internship. So my thing is, man, let's push these internships while they in high school right now.
Right. We didn't have that.
And I didn't even know about it.
But yeah, that stuff wasn't even told to us.
I had no idea.
It was just trying to get us about the door and bring the next class.
Exactly. So if I'm providing them type of opportunities, I feel like I won as a coach.
No doubt. And then also everybody's not going to college. It's not the only path, right? So we're attempting to set them up with different trades so you can provide for your family. Because for me, my biggest thing is your job as a man is to be able to protect and provide and really provide options. There's a lot that goes into those 2 P's, but you want to be able to have options for your family going down the stretch. And there's so many ways to get money out here right now. Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense for you not to. You just have to set your mind to purpose and move towards it.
Right.
So get a trade and leverage it up. I started with a CDL, and it just kept leveraging up to other things. And so it's like, it's so many different ways and paths to success. Just like when we evaluate a kid based on, okay, he may look like a linebacker, but he's really more, his temperament as a defensive end, right? So let's figure out what you need. Like, do you need welding school? Do you need HVAC? What do you need to do to fit your gifts so you can be successful in life?
Cover your path.
And the more successful men we have, I feel like the better families we'll have leading, because you have the dynamic. And a mother can play her role, and a man can play his role. We have more productive kids. And so in turn, you have less people turning out, because basically a lot of what I've seen comes down to insecurities. You're insecure about something, or you're afraid to speak up, or you don't feel like you have the skills to talk in a certain room. So then you end up doing things because of your fear not to be successful, if that makes sense.
Hey, man. Y'all, we getting real deep. Because like I said, I'm sitting here, bro, I ain't got no notes or no nothing, but I'm just kind of taking all this in. I'm like, that's a whole nother conversation, man. And I love it, man. I love it because brothers don't get together like this and just talk to children like that. They talk about that.
Speaking of this, Larry, I know you're about to end the segment, but we got to celebrate these guys.
Oh yeah.
We have got to celebrate these gentlemen.
Yeah, we got to celebrate y'all, man. We got y'all some gifts, man.
Oh, man.
Got y'all some gifts. I mean, coach, you coach of the year. Was it Region 4? Coach of the year.
Congratulations.
Big deal.
And I know, like you said, you give you get the accolades. It's always pointed directly because you're the head man, but you always show love to your assistants, man. And so for us from BallinVA, man, if y'all look to y'all left and look under the table, man, we got y'all a couple gifts, man. Each y'all should be able to find it. If you don't see it under your chair, it might be to your right. To your right, Jonathan.
You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And Tiffany's gonna tell y'all what y'all got there.
All right.
Yeah, because she is the expert.
Oh, in the room. In the room. This is some mead. It's from my way. I'm from Richmond originally, as y'all know, but this came down from Williamsburg.
Okay.
Silver Hand Meadery.
Okay.
And mead is something that came over a long time ago, and it's based in honey that's been fermented. And then it becomes a beautiful non-alcoholic beverage.
All right.
Okay? Some of them can be used over ice. Some can be mixed like a mead mosa. If you got the strawberry, that's one that can be mixed with some OJ, and it becomes like a mead mosa. It's very good. If you've gotten the other one, the lavender or the other, that is very good. It's like a Riesling if you put it over ice.
Okay.
And we just want to celebrate you guys. We think,
Thank you so much.
I'm just celebrating you as men. Gosh, I can't imagine the lives you're touching as young men coming up through you. I mean, that's a whole nother segment, but I get goosebumps listening to you all talk. And there's not many men out there like you all. And the fact that you're in leadership roles and are able to duplicate that in your community.
See what y'all talking about.
I got goosebumps. Thank y'all for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting that back into the community. And we appreciate you so much. I know I do as a mom.
Appreciate it.
Man, we definitely do, man, because this went into a whole different conversation. But I think but seriously, but it's needed because it shows y'all character, you know. And we was talking, Coach Q, we was all talking. I was like, man, that brother deep.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I was ready to do a documentary on him.
Are the mics on?
Like, Tiffany was like, why the tape ain't running? But it just, like I said, parents, Varina Nation, we could go into a whole lot of things. If y'all don't want y'all kid to play for these guys, then something wrong. You know, we could say it as that. But, you know, from BallinVA, congratulations to y'all.
Thank you.
Much success in the future. We definitely got to do a part 2.
Oh, my God.
Because we got to go into a whole nother thing. And we definitely going to be out there supporting y'all this year.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
We was out there last year, you know, in the cold.
I will be there on the sidelines. I didn't got that. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
But yeah, man, it was a beautiful thing. And congratulations, y'all brought one home. You know, the football team set the tone. Basketball finished as the first school to actually win football and basketball in the same school year. That's never been done around here in the city. Not speaking of the state, but the city. And that's a huge thing, man, y'all doing over there at Route 5. So keep it up, man.
For sure.
Keep it up. I love the competitive balance.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so anything else you got to say, Tiff?
I said it. I mean, they have said it. I just thank you. That's all. I'm appreciative and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this thing up, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, subscribe, like, you know, do all of those things, and we out.